Alright, so throughout this course, I've taught you many things in HTML. I've taught you how to make paragraphs, I've taught you how to make headings, and I've taught you how to incorporate links and attributes inside your tags. Now, let's move on to another key aspect in HTML programming, which is creating lists and tables and incorporating images. So starting off with lists and tables, it's one of the many ways we can organize data on our website. So starting with lists, there are in particular two types of lists we can make. We can make an unordered list and we can make an ordered list. So an unordered list basically indents each list item and adds a bullet to it. And an ordered list basically indents the same thing. It indents each list item and numbers each of them. So let's start off and code our first list. So let's go from new file from template, go to HTML5, and let's type in the file name lists. And let's open that up. Alright, now let's add our usual meta charset. UTF-8, and then let's close that tag up. Alright, now inside the body, we're going to start with unordered list, basically only bulleted points. So to start off our list tag, we're going to specify which type of list it is, whether it's unordered or ordered. And we do this by creating a tag of bracket UL for unordered list, or if we're going to use an ordered list, bracket OL bracket. So the first one is an unordered list, UL, and the second one is an ordered list, OL. Now let's work with UL first of all. Now this is going to be our unordered list where it basically bullet points everything. Now we're not done yet. We need to incorporate list items or things that we want to be bulleted. Now let's put enter in here and let's make a new line. Now for each item we need to specify that it's a list item, and we do that with a list item tag. Now we do this by creating a bracket li bracket. Now this is a list item tag. Now anything we put inside here will be the first item that shows up in our tag. Now for example, let's say animals. Now animals will be the first thing that will be bulleted. Now if we want to make another bullet point, we press enter and then we make another list item tag. So we do bracket li bracket and let's say food. So now in this unordered list we have two list items. We have one that's going to be bulleted animals and another one that's under it bulleted food. Now let's go ahead and run this and see what this looks like. So let's save that and then we'll go ahead and run it in Google Chrome. So remember the selection, Google Chrome, and then preview. So as you can see, we have two list items, animals and food, and they are with bullet points. So easy enough. Now let's say we want to change the type of unordered list we have. So bullet points are usually circular, right? But let's say we want to make a square bullet point. So remember when I taught you about how to make attributes? Well, the same thing goes for this. So inside the unordered list tag, we're going to add the attribute type. So let's go to the unordered list tag, UL, and let's put space and let's type in type. And then type equals. Now we're going to specify what type of unordered list should I say, we want. Now there's disk, circle, and square. So let's try square. So we're going to set type equals square. And then close that off with another quotation mark. And let's save this and run it. So that's it. So let's go back over here and refresh it. And now we have square bullet points. Let's zoom up over there. As you can see, square bullet points. Easy enough. So now let's go ahead and work with ordered lists. So let's go back to our code editor and let's delete all of this. So now let's do an ordered list. So we can do this almost exactly the same way by typing bracket OL bracket. Now we've started an ordered list. Now the list items we want to make in there are the same way we did with unordered list. We do bracket li bracket and we type whatever we want in there. So let's do again animals, and now let's make another list item that says food. So bracket li bracket food. Let's go ahead and save that. Let's go refresh this page. Now what should happen is that we get an ordered list that starts from 1 and keeps going. So 1, animals, 2, food. So now we've created both types of lists. Now, the same with unordered lists. Ordered lists can have different types as well. Now we could start with the number 1, or we could start with the number 4, or we can basically count or start with the letter A and continue to A, B, C, and D. And we can even use Roman numerals. So instead of 1 and 2, let's do option choices A and B and C and so on. So the same way it worked, we're going to add an attribute to OL called type. So let's go and type equals, and then let's specify what we want it to, what type of ordered list we want it. So to do an uppercase A or uppercase letters, we're going to type in A uppercase, and that's it. Now we specify that this ordered list is going to start with an uppercase A and is going to keep going and do an uppercase B for the next list item and an uppercase C for the next item, and so on. So let's go ahead and save this, and then let's go view it in our document, in our website. So let's refresh this, and as you can see, our list has changed from 1 to 2 to A to B, and it's that easy to make a list. Now, another important part with making lists is that we can nest lists together. So basically we can have 2 lists inside of each other. So let's start off and create an ordered list. So let's go ahead and code an ordered list. So bracket OL bracket. Now let's make a list item grocery items. So LI grocery. Now let's make another list item. This time I want to list out the different pets that I have. So we're going to do LI, and now we have the LI opening and closing tag. Now let's say I wanted to put an unordered list in there, so basically a bulleted point list inside of an ordered list. So we can do that. So let's space this out and give ourselves some space to work with. So let's press enter. Now let's go ahead and make an unordered list. So we're going to do the same way we made an unordered list, except we're doing that inside of a list item. So we're going to do bracket UL bracket. Now let's give ourselves a little bit of space again, so let's press enter. Now let's make another list item. So let's say list item animals, list item dogs, another list item cats. So we basically just created a list inside of another list. We nested lists. So let's go ahead and save that and see how it turns out. So Command S or Control S, and then let's go ahead and refresh. So as you can see, we have ordered lists, an ordered list from 1 to 2. So grocery number 2 over here is left blank, which we can go back and fix. And then inside here we have another unordered list which comes up as bullet points that says animals, dogs, and cats. Now let's go over here and give number 2 an identity. So let's go back into our code. Alright, so let's go back and give this unordered list an identity back in number 2. So the way we do this is that before we created this unordered list, let's go right next to that list item, and we're going to type animals. So we're going to specify what this unordered list is going to be talking about. Now since we already have animals under here, let's change this and we'll include a different type of animal. So for example, parrots. Now we can go Control Save, and then let's go view this. So as you can see, we have an ordered list 1, 2 grocery and animals, and then inside animals we have another list, an unordered list for the types of animals that we have: parrots, dogs, and cats. Now you know everything you need to go and code a list. Now in the next lesson I'll be teaching you everything you need to know about making tables. See you in the next one.